I'm Hayley West, and this is my work here. It's called The Landlord, and I'll give you a bit of history to the work. I actually did a similar piece in 2007 when I showed it at 24 Hour Art, and my mother had just died. I used this image, and I made a cushion piece that shape out of her pillowcases. And so this work is kind of an extension of that, because these are my mother-in-law's pillow slips who's just died. So it's kind of, it's... I always thought I'd rework the idea, but then it kind of, my mother-in-law just died, so it kind of seemed pertinent to do it now. These images are blown up from small photos that I found in Taiwan when I was living in a house in Taipei. And my landlord, who owned the place, rented out the flat to teachers, like international people. It was always teachers that were living there, but he left all his stuff in the house. But there was just all these personal effects in the house, and I always thought it was really strange that he left all this stuff in the house for expats to just kind of use or go through, and he didn't really care. So that's kind of why it's called The Landlord, because these are actually his family, and I never asked him, but he's cut somebody out of the photos, and I think it's a male figure. And I think obviously it's the same person, and it's somebody to do with his family. So I'm interested in ideas about how death is portrayed in artworks, and how people deal with death, and memorial and memories of people. So I guess that's how they're using the pillow slips and displaying this work kind of exists together. I put the red image behind the works before I scan them. And I always think it reminds me of when Indigenous people get rid of photos after somebody's died, so that you can't see who they are, an image of them anywhere. I mean, this is completely different, where it's been a purpose to cut somebody out of their life.
Hayley, can I ask, are you for sure that it was someone who's died, or was it someone?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if they. I don't think they died. I think it was something sinister, or something horrible had happened in the family.
But certainly loss of a person.
Yeah. So obviously there's been some grieving process or some loss with that. But so that's kind of what it's talking about.
It's interesting how violent the photographs look, and how comforting the pillow slips are. Yeah. And the same shapes that seem so violent in the photographs can seem so comforting in the pillow form. Yeah,
because you can really see where it's happened fast, where they've cut the image out. And I also like that these pillow slips, I haven't ironed them or anything, because the last time that they were touched was by Tobias's mum, and ironed with those creases, so it's kind of, and I tried to keep it that way,
It's interesting for me, because that's my mother, and my father can't iron.
Yeah, so we know it was her that did that.
Cool. And for me, I think that you through those other people's the way dealing with death and those relationship between family reflect to your experience in your life in Darwin. That's the link between sort of past and
family.
Yes. And a past to the present. That's sort of what I see from actually your work and also Tobias' work. I mean, I think Darwin, this place, would become a place of connections which join your sort of past memory in the past into your present.
Yeah.
And those experiences also reshape your present and who you are and dealing with those present current issues.
Yeah, because that was from another time before.
Yeah.
When I was living in Taiwan before I arrived in Darwin. But also while I've been in Darwin, like I've had, you know, got married, had baby, lost my mother, lost my mother-in-law, all those like massive things have happened.
Yeah.
So it's very, But then, but then it's like, you know, something I've been thinking about for a long time, this kind of idea, but yeah, it's kind of interesting how it forms here, especially when you're away from family a lot. And
and also you gain those materials through your life, and you're kind of collecting those material becomes your collection of your life as well.
Yeah.
You collected that from Taiwan, and that's recently you gained.
Yeah.
It seems it's just the right time to put this work together as an artwork.
Yeah. Just as we're about to leave the territory as well.
Yeah.
Do you own the original copies of these photos, or
Yeah.
And so he enabled you to take whatever you wanted, or you just took
I
it?
just took them and probably. I mean, there's other things that I took from the house too. He just didn't care. Not that I asked.
So how do you know whether he cared?
Well, I don't know, because he used to come over and just. I don't know. I mean, I probably should have said something. There's all sorts of things I took from that house, like found letters and. Yeah, it was like everything was going mouldy in a corner, you know, like these beautiful antique Chinese chipaos that actually a friend took and donated to a museum in Melbourne because we felt like it was like an amazing, like there was one with fur inside and stuff.
Wow.
And so other people were kind of in there as well, it wasn't just me.
But also a new life and a story.
Yeah.
You're taking the story further.
Yeah. I also took stuff that belonged to other foreigners who had lived there, who had left it, you know, stuff there as well. Like it was just this big hoarding house, like of stuff. It was quite amazing.
I think identity is such a solid subject in art, and so many artists can't help but seeing the wealth of found photos and other people's identity to play around with.
Yeah.
And sure, maybe it's not 100% appropriate, but you can't blame the artists for seeing the wealth of finding material like that and playing with it. And I mean, artists tread dangerous lines, so you know.
Well,
you know that.
Yeah. I've always used something of somebody else's in my work, like
Hey,
whether they know or not.
Artists tell stories. And so.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So we move to Tobias' work.